Hey math kids, so today we are going to talk about functions and their derivatives. So we're given, maybe, there we go. So we're given a graph and we're asked to find the first and second derivative of the graph. So we're going to go like this, this, this. Okay. So a couple things. I'm going to mark local minima, local maxima right there. So these are min or max. And then I'm also going to mark roughly where points of inflection are. So maybe here, about. Okay, so what we're going to do, if we're drawing the first derivative, so I'm going to do, let's see, let's keep this consistent. So f of x is drawn. And then I'm going to do f prime in yellow. So these purple points, which are local minimas and maximas, are going to bring us to the x-axis in our yellow function, or in our first derivative. Now, we are going downhill on this first one, so that means we're below the x-axis. So the slope translates into positive or negative. Then we go uphill, so that means we're above the x-axis. Then we go downhill until we get here, and then we go uphill for the rest of it. Okay. Now, if I mark local maxes and mins of that one, see how those line up with the original inflection points. And so when I do the second derivative, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring those to the x-axis. Now, the derivative's slope was positive first, so I'm going to be above the x-axis till I get there. Then it's negative, so I drop down, and then it's positive, and so I go up there. So that's how first and second derivatives work on a graph. And we have one more example. So it says the graph alongside shows a gradient function. So this time we're given the derivative. Okay. And we want to graph the original function. So we're going kind of backwards. And to be honest, this is harder for me to think about. Okay, so we'll graph in blue the original function. Okay, so these points where we cross the x-axis are going to be local minima or maxima. So if we have a negative slope and then a positive slope, that means we're going down, then up. So this one is a min. And then this one, we're above the x-axis, so that means positive slope. So if we're going up and then down, so up, then down, that's going to be a max. And then this one, negative, or below the x-axis means we're going down, and above the x-axis means we're going up. So we go down, then up. This is a minimum, local minimum. Okay, and so our first slope is negative. So we're going to like come down, we get to about right there, and then we're going to go up, and we get there, and then we're below the x-axis, so that means we need to have a negative slope until we get to about there, and then we have a positive slope for the rest of the time. Now don't worry about how high these max and mins are, just make sure you get the general shape, and that's all I'm really looking for in that one. If you need additional help, come to Math Lab. Until then, calculator.